Good morning, my name's Jesse. I'm a neurodivergent person who struggles with anxiety, ADHD, and symptoms of autism. And I'm also a therapist that has lived through many different things, many different struggles, learned to overcome the majority of them. To be honest, I still struggle on a daily basis and have to use my tools daily. Although I have come to a place of success, of overcoming many things where I can live a happy, joyful life. And, a lot of that has to do with some of the new technologies out there. Like, I love AI, but at times I also hate it because I become overly focused or hyper focused on things, and it drains all of my energy, and I am not balanced in other areas of my life because of it. So I can become very fixated on things. So if you can relate to this, please comment below or like or share. But let me know that you relate. And it can be a gift and a curse, and that's kind of like my life story. I don't know, maybe you can relate to that as well. But there's many good things out there. The problem is focus, and it's something that I work with on a daily basis. And I just accept because I get a little scattered, I get a little out of control, and especially if I'm overstimulated or overtired, I need to give myself rest. If I don't give myself rest, then I'll just keep running in this spiral, in this circle of anxiety, right? And that's where the anxiety comes in, because I get anxiety from a few different areas. I think I'm a trauma survivor. I've been through trauma, so there is that level of anxiety, that fight, flight, freeze, which I think the other kind is the same too. And you'll notice I'm not coming at this from like clinical perspectives. I'm coming at this from like the way that I've figured it out through my body, and hopefully I can speak in ways that people understand. So you don't need to be a PhD, you don't have to be a psychologist to be able to speak about this stuff, because really it's the way it responds in your body. Everybody's a little bit different, whereas a lot of people are the same when it comes to that kind of like reptile brain fight, flight, freeze, right? So I'm rambling on a little bit here. Like I said, I have ADHD, but I'm getting to the point here. So back to technology. I believe AI has been the greatest tool to be entered into my life, because it organizes mass amounts of information for me rather than me having to do it. I don't use it to do the work for me. I use it as a tool responsibly. So it will do things that my brain does not like to do, while I get to be creative and offer what I know. I do believe that AI will replace pieces of my job as a counselor, and I'm okay with that. It can do the basic stuff, the getting people through simple problems in the day, right? That's fine. I mean, but I also believe that we'll always need a human connection. I would hope so, anyway. But yeah, so this overwhelm, like, I'll go through and one of my special interests or hyper focus is AI, and making my job basically easier, my life easier. I work full time as a counselor, and I've also got a project going on the outside, which I really find necessary for me as a neurodivergent person, to have something going on outside, something to be passionate about. But then being able to just focus on that. So the coolest thing is that I've been playing with lately is an autonomous agent, they're called. And this one's called GenSpark AI. And it does cost money to use, but there are some free ones you can try out, like Manus AI. But it actually, you can just give it what you want, and it'll search the web and use all the tools for you. So it's getting to a point where it's like, I don't have to think of the things I need to do with AI, because it's hard for me to organize my thoughts at times. I can just tell it what I want done, and then go through and make my adjustments accordingly. So for example, like Manus AI, I can get it to send me daily tasks or reports, right? I can get it to send me daily reminders to do things, right? And and I can just keep playing with that until it's things that I'll actually do, because I tend to to just ignore it if it's not useful, because I get distracted by something else. Please comment below if you relate to that too. But it's a work in progress. I need to stop, realize that maybe I am in sensory overload, write things down, do it like an old school pen and paper. And I'm not talking about a list. I hate lists. People just tell me all the time, write a list. I'm like, oh God, go F yourself, I'm so tired of hearing that. It's not that simple. Yeah, I'll write a list. I'll write 20 lists, and I'll leave them in my pocket, or I'll pull them out, crumple them up, and throw them away without even noticing. Like, lists don't work for me. But I do know, like, something called a brain dump. Look it up. Works really well for me. So I just write everything down that's on my mind, and if there's anything I can do anything about at that moment, I'll do it. If not, the rest doesn't matter at that time. Or maybe I'll go over to Manus AI and say, hey, I need you to remind me of this. And actually, let's take it a step further. I need you to remind me of this, but also come up with a social media post idea of what's currently going on in the mental health world right now. So it'll do that even one step further for me, right? So I guess my overall message today is be easy on yourself, because the tools are out there now, and they're getting better and better and better, and I think they're going to help us people with neurodivergent struggles immensely, because it's already helping me. I tell my friends and colleagues that AI has been the greatest thing to ever come into my life, and I believe that, and it's so exciting that people that don't fit into the world may be able to start fitting into this new world. And I think it's already happening. Like, look at social media. Look at me recording this video right now. Look at all the neurodivergent creators out there making a living doing what they were put on this planet to do. So yeah, ask me. I have no problem sharing stuff. I have programs that do cost money, but I also love sharing my knowledge and information, and that doesn't cost any money, because I'm trying to build a community here, or join a community that already exists, because from what I understand, there's a pretty big neurodivergent community where we can think freely, where we can unmask, where we can just be ourselves and support each other. So you don't even have to be neurodivergent to get this stuff. Some might think even having an anxiety disorder is almost like being neurodivergent, because you think differently, right? So let's not get too hung up on the labels, or say this person can't be here, or this person has to be here, whatever, right? Let's not get hung up on that stuff. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you watched this far. Hopefully I can continue putting out these videos. Well, I will. You're stuck with me. I love doing this stuff. So, and if you've got value, please like, comment, share. It helps move this video along and to other people, and it helps me be able to live out the life that I truly want to live out. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.